Some fighters win belts, others win fights. But then there's Conor McGregor, a man who changed the game. Because in today's UFC, his fingerprints are everywhere. Fighters have copied his trash talk, borrowing his style, or flat out admitting that he inspired their careers. So today we're counting down the UFC fighters inspired by Conor McGregor. From world champions to rising stars, each of these fighters is carrying a piece of the Notorious with them every time they step into the octagon. Number 1. Garry. After Conor McGregor blazed the trail, the man carrying that fire is this man. Garry's been open about it. He saw Conor McGregor go from Dublin streets to double champ glory and thought, if he can, then I can do it too. And unlike most fighters that run from being compared to legends, Garry, he calls it a compliment in the lead up to UFC 273 back in April of 2022. With such motivation, he went from a Cage Warriors gold to an 8-fight UFC win streak, knocking out guys like Jordan Williams and Daniel Rodriguez at UFC 268 and UFC 285, a streak that is tied for the third longest in the division history. Garry's making sure that the sequel to Conor McGregor's story is being written in real time.
Any little bit of respect or homage to him that I can give to him in that octagon to show him how grateful I am for everything he's done, you can guarantee I'll be doing it.
You see these guys now at the top of the sport, you think they might have like an ego or they might like have this thing of like, I'm better than you. Gilbert literally was saying like to me, as I'm gonna come with you guys on your bus because I want to see you fight, and then I'll have time to like warm up and everything, but I'm gonna be there for you. And I was like, that's my guy.
But influence doesn't always come in the form of motivation. Sometimes it's personality, and that's where Colby Covington comes in. Number 2. Colby Covington. Colby Covington wasn't always chaos early on. He was a soft-spoken fighter on the verge of being cut. Then he watched what Conor McGregor did, turning trash into an arsenal, and realized he needed to flip the script. That's how Chaos Covington was born, a pro wrestling style heel that pissed off half the fan base, but forced everyone to pay attention. And Colby, he didn't fail to give the credit to Conor McGregor on MSCS Media Podcast. He acknowledged Conor and hailed him as a great fighter and a history maker. And truly, without Conor McGregor showing the world that personality could sell as much as performance, Colby might have been another guy lost on the roster. Instead, he became a one-time welterweight interim champ after he won the title against Rafael dos Anjos in 2018. And in the process, he became one of the most polarizing fighters the UFC has ever seen.
It's the worst decision he ever made, showing up to fight me. Almost worse is him not getting a prenup with his last ex-wife.
I'm the money fight in the male shit at all weight divisions, so f everybody else up here.
At least I'm honest. I'm brutally honest, yeah, but at least I'm honest.
Really, I should create my own belt because I am in myself my own belt. It's the McGregor belt.
And as the people's champion, I'd like to ask the people who they'd like to see me fight next.
Unlike Colby Covington, not everyone inspired by Conor McGregor wanted to follow his trash talking. Khamzat Chimaev just wanted to legally beat up people for the money. Number 3. Khamzat Chimaev. Back in 2015, Khamzat was working security when he saw Conor McGregor absolutely destroy Jose Aldo in 13 seconds. That moment stuck with him. Fast forward a few years, Khamzat smashed through the UFC, winning 3 fights in 66 days, and eventually crushing Dricus Du Plessis to become the middleweight champ at UFC 319. A performance that not only extended his perfect professional record to 15-0, but also broke Max Holloway's record for the most strikes in a single fight. Now, of course, his vibe wasn't the same as Conor McGregor, but the calling your shot mentality was straight out of the McGregor playbook. Khamzat was inspired, but instead of charisma and jokes, he took on the destruction and and dominant stance of Conor McGregor. And it all started with a 15-minute break from a security guard post.
The guys like knock him out, and I was thinking, like, mentally I'm stronger than him, my body is bigger than him, I don't know. If he makes that money, why not me?
There's respect, big respect, but I never underestimate my opponent. I'm just work hard for the fight, gonna go beat that guy. I never ask, I said just give me the fight for the money.
And speaking of fighters who create chaos like Conor, Mauricio Ruffy, he shocked the world with a highlight reel that felt straight out of McGregor's early career. Number 4. Mauricio Ruffy. He is an Irish, but damn, if his style doesn't remind fans of early Conor McGregor, then I don't know what does. His capoeira karate blend, the timing, the explosive knockout power, and it's all got the marks of that featherweight Conor McGregor. His record so far: a spinning wheel kick KO of King Green, a beatdown of Jamie Malarkey, and a clinic against James Longstop with confidence. And the way that he controls distance, it's classic McGregor influence. Ruffy himself admits in interviews with Cage Side Press back in May of 2024 and MMA Junkie in April of 2025. Conor's blueprint shaped his style. Conor's blueprint of unpredictability and one-shot power shaped the way he fights. And you know, he can see it every time he sets his feet, waiting for that perfect counter, like a young Conor McGregor.
You know, Conor has really inspired my style, the Ruffy style, a lot. There's a lot of things in there that I added, emulating him or inspired by him. So, you know,
I don't mind being compared to Conor McGregor. The guy had a great history in UFC. I tried to mirror myself in him. He's a guy who taught everyone how to make money in fights. So, yeah, thanks everyone who's saying that.
But even champions have been caught in the Conor McGregor influence without realizing it. Kamaru Usman is proof of this. Number 5. Kamaru Usman, the Nigerian Nightmare, is not exactly the first name you'd connect to Conor McGregor, but hold on. In Usman's rematch with Jorge Masvidal, he threw combinations eerily similar to Conor's work. Conor McGregor called him out. Usman denied it, but when the biggest star in MMA sets the standard, those patterns seep into everyone's game without them even realizing it. In addition to borrowing Conor's combinations eerily, fans pointed out moments where Usman's promos sounded really similar to McGregor's trash talking. But he insists his reign was built on wrestling, cardio, and crushing pressure. But the fact that fans accused him of borrowing some of Conor's lines and combinations shows how inescapable Conor's influence is.
Also have worn on him as well, though. You got to remember that.
Yep, that's not his game. That's not his game, right? He's not a wrestler. We're having the wrestler extend the period. Oh,
just got stung.
Nice right hand by Usman. But Masvidal ate it.
I need to see active. I need to see activity.
They can all get it. They need to show me some activity. Show me some activity.
Yeah. It's red panty night when you're starting to fight me, yeah? Back at home with your wife.
I have what everybody wants. You know, it's green panty night when you fight me.
Over in South Africa, Dricus Du Plessis openly admits it. Number 6. Dricus Du Plessis. When Dricus Du Plessis burst onto the scene, he already was a powerhouse. But he's admitted in a Straight Talk podcast back in early 2025 that it was Conor McGregor who helped him shift his mindset. At 21 years old, Du Plessis started studying the way Conor McGregor approached his fights. His display of monster mentality, the imagination, the confidence, the way Conor walked into fights already convinced him that he'd won. Du Plessis took that, and years later it paid off as UFC gold. And wins over Adesanya and Sean Strickland via split decision at UFC 297 to achieve a historic victory as the first South African UFC middleweight champion, put his name in the history books. So yes, aside from teaching kids how to throw heavy punches, Conor McGregor also inspired fighters on how to think like champions, and Du Plessis was just one.
Conor McGregor is, whether you hate him or love him, you've got to respect what the man has done and achieved in the sport. Because I've been a fan of his for very long. When I was still up and coming when he burst on the scene. He almost changed the game in terms of mentality, you know.
Well, then it's really huge. I mean, it seems that it's taken a lot of people by surprise in South Africa, and even more surprising to become a world champion. It is absolutely unprecedented in the recent memory of South African combat sports, in a stunning achievement.
And it's not just the mind games. Some fighters literally rebuild their fighting styles off McGregor's blueprint, like Caio Borralho. Number 7. Caio Borralho, Brazil's rising star, openly credits Conor McGregor as a major influence. He went so far as to change his stance because of him. From orthodox to southpaw, McGregor's karate style, his wide-based stance, was mocked early on in his career until he started starching people using it. Years later, young fighters like Borralho are literally reshaping their games around it. Caio studied McGregor the same way that kids once studied GSP or Anderson Silva, and you can see this stance in most of his fights, especially against Imanov at UFC Paris. And his UFC appearances on Dana White's Contender Series back in 2021, this is where it became prominent. His change to southpaw stance makes his signature fighting style highly visible in these fights.
Conor too.
Yeah, technique. Yeah,
the technique.
Before, yeah, I was orthodox,
right?
And then I changed to southpaw, watching him.
Because Conor.
Yeah, because Conor.
Wow.
I tried, and then I was like, man, I need to be southpaw.
Yeah.
I need to train southpaw. So I started training only southpaw for like years and years. And now I'm more southpaw than orthodox.
Really?
You know? Yeah, because of him.
But nobody studied more than the man with rainbow-colored hair and some serious knockout power. Number 8. Sean O'Malley. From the second he walked into the UFC back in 2017, Sugar Sean O'Malley had it all. The hair, the knockouts, the charisma. Fans knew that he was just different, but behind the style was a very plain truth. And he even said it himself on TalkSport. Conor was the influence, not only for fighting, but for being a star in the UFC. And when he finally captured the bantamweight belt in 2023, it actually felt like a Conor McGregor moment all over again. A young, flashy striker who called his shot, and when he got it, he delivered. Predict your fights, call your shots, deliver when it matters. That's exactly what he did at UFC 292, knocking out Aljamain Sterling to become a bantamweight champ, and then defending against Marlon Vera. The merch, the lifestyle, the social media empire. O'Malley understood the same thing Conor did. In today's UFC, the fight is half the battle. The brand is the second half. We've seen prospects take his style, champs take his mindset, and trash talkers take from his playbook. But if there's one fighter who embodies Conor McGregor's spirit of hype, flair, and showmanship more than anyone else today, then it's gotta be this guy.
But yeah, you know, I've always taken inspiration from Conor fights. You know, I've watched Conor fights more probably than my fights more, but I've watched a lot of Conor fights. But I'll forever be, you know, a huge Conor fan. You know, I feel grateful to be able to watch his come up, like in my generation. Like I watched it happen. So, you know, I think we'll look back.
Dude, I've taken so much inspiration, taken so much from Conor. Watching his career play out, and just like the confidence he had to say what he's gonna go out there and do, and go out there and do it. It's like, I want to see Conor back, old Conor, come back and knock someone out more than anybody. Like Conor and I have had our beef, but it was stupid.
You think it's possible?
So there you have it. UFC fighters who were inspired by Conor McGregor. And guys, if you guys liked the video, then give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on those bell notifications. And guys, I'm Ty, and I will catch you on the next one.